So today we are going to talk about the history of the COVID-19 coronavirus. On December the 31st last year, China alerted WHO to several cases of unusual pneumonia in Wuhan, a port city of 11 million people in the central Hubei province. The virus at that time was unknown. Several of those infected worked at the city's Hunan seafood wholesale market, which was selling wildlife, and this facility was shut down on January the 1st, 2020. As health experts worked to identify the virus amid growing alarm, the number of infections exceeded 40 individuals. On January 5th, Chinese officials ruled out the possibility that this was a recurrence of the severe acute respiratory syndrome virus, an illness that originated in China and killed more than 770 people worldwide in 2000 to 2003 period. On January 7th, officials in China announced they had identified a new virus. According to the WHO, the novel coronavirus was named 2019 nCoV and was identified as belonging to the coronavirus family, which includes SARS and the common cold. On January 11th, China announced its first death from the virus. A 61-year-old man who had purchased goods from the seafood market. Treatment did not improve his symptoms after he was admitted to the hospital, and he died of heart failure on the evening of January 9th. On January 13th, the WHO reported a case in Thailand, the first outside of China, in a woman who had arrived from Wuhan. Wuhan was placed under effective quarantine on January 23rd as air and rail departures were suspended. The same measures were announced for two more cities in Hubei province, Zhengzhou and Xibi. Beijing cancelled events for the Lunar New Year starting on January 25th, while officials reported the first death outside Hubei. The WHO said later on January 23rd that the outbreak did not yet constitute a public emergency of international concern, and there was no evidence of the virus spreading between humans outside of China. On January 30th, the WHO declared coronavirus a global emergency as the death toll in China jumped to 170, with 7,711 cases reported in the country, where the virus had spread to all 31 provinces. On February 1st, the death toll in China rose to 259, with 11,791 confirmed infections in the country, according to new figures released by the Chinese Health Authority. New cases were confirmed in Australia, Canada, Germany, Japan, Singapore, United States, the UAE, and Vietnam. As of February 2nd, the first death outside of China of a Chinese man from Wuhan was reported in the Philippines.